Warning, I say a lot of bad words. Nachomane. Welcome to Main Event Reviews. Today we're going to watch New Wrestling Evolution because this show has the Ultimate Warrior's last ever match. One thing I didn't know about this is that this match took place in Spain. And also the commentary is in French, so I don't know what they're saying. But anyways, before we watch the show, this is the build up to the match. After winning his match, Orlando Jordan went up to Ultimate Warrior in the crowd. Pretty much Jordan calls the Ultimate Warrior washed up, and he's the future of pro wrestling. Warrior calls Jordan disrespectful, and he has no honor in the way that he won the NWE heavyweight title. This kid starts cutting a promo. I don't know what he said, but then Jordan pushed him away. Ultimate Warrior started punching on Orlando Jordan. Warrior puts Orlando Jordan back in the ring, but Jordan's bodyguards start jumping on Warrior. The bodyguards are beating up Warrior, but then the Warrior starts hulking up. The bodyguards try to clothesline Warrior, but he ducks under it, and Warrior hits the bodyguards with a double clothesline. Warrior try to get Orlando Jordan next, but he gets out the ring like a coward. The Ultimate Warrior challenges Orlando Jordan to a championship match.
But you will not be able to forget it. This nightmare. I challenge you, Orlando, 1-on-1, June 25th, Barcelona, Spain. I challenge you to a championship match.
Damn! You can't challenge my title. I'm the champion. What makes the challenge? You want to challenge me? You want me? That's a bet. Okay.
If you can beat me and my One Warrior Nation, I will recognize you as a true champion, and I will present you with the belt.
That's what you want, huh? That's what you want.
But if I beat you, no. When I beat you turn over the championship belt so real competitors can battle to crown a true champion.
Okay, so now we're on the first match of the night. It's Supernova versus Jungle Pac. I've never seen Pac in his Tarzan gimmick before. I liked him when he had a superhero gimmick. I don't think I've ever seen Supernova, but he looks like a Power Ranger. I don't really know what's going on, but he came out to the ring with a mini Ultimo Dragon. Supernova tried to shake Pac's hand, but Pac started sniffing his hand. Eventually, Pac shakes Nova's hand. Pac has Supernova in a hammerlock, but then Nova gives Pac a snapmare. Supernova gives Pac a very fast Hurricanrana. They did a replay of the move. It was nice, but I don't think that was necessary. Pac jumps out of the corner and gives Supernova an arm drag. Supernova gives Pac his own arm drag. Pac gets up and hits Supernova with a drop kick. Supernova gets up and hits Pac with a drop kick. They both go for a drop kick at the same time, and they have a standoff like Jerry Lynn and RVD. Supernova tried to go for a handspring back elbow, but Pac caught him with a drop kick. Nova goes outside, then Pac hits Supernova with a corkscrew tope con hilo.
Ça me rappelle l'accélération peut-être. Incroyable, qu'est-ce qu'il a fait? Incroyable, un flip dans les airs de Jungle Pac.
Mini Ultimo Dragon gets in the ring and hits Pac with a diving headbutt. Why is that not a DQ? What's happening? Mini Ultimo Dragon gets Pac a tilt-a-whirl head scissors to the outside. Then Dragon tried to hit Pac with a tope suicida, but Pac catches him and throws him on the ground. Supernova catches Pac with a tope con hilo. The camera didn't even catch the dive. Both men get counted out by the referee, but the ring announcer decides to keep the match going on anyways. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Pac jumps over the top rope and gives Supernova a cutter. Pac hits Supernova with a split-legged corkscrew senton. That was pretty nice. Supernova catches Pac with a springboard Hurricanrana. They give Nova's Hurricanrana a replay again. They should give Pac a replay too. That's not fair. Supernova gives Pac a avalanche Hurricanrana from the top rope. Pac catches Supernova in the pin, but Nova reversed it and tried to pin Pac. Pac kicks out at 2.5. Pac gives Supernova a fireman's carry front slam that hits Nova with a corkscrew moonsault. Supernova hits Pac with the 619. It gets the victory with a springboard crossbody.
Qui est placé sur Jungle Pac. On va vouloir en terminer et faire ressort. Le crossbody block 1, 2 et 3. Est-ce que ça va suffire? C'est la victoire.
C'est la victoire, effectivement.
Incroyable.
Et pendant ce temps-là, votre ami Mini Dragon avait disparu d'ailleurs.
Ouais, Dieu merci, il est intervenu, c'est vrai, dans la première partie de ce combat. Supernova qui a placé un coup d'accélérateur au bon moment.
Ah, il est revenu, il est sur le ring, même Mini Dragon pour applaudir son maître.
That was an alright opening match. Some of it was kind of confusing though. Supernova and Pac shake hands after the match. They go backstage to this Orlando Jordan segment. They show Jordan working out, getting ready for his match against the Warrior. The Vampire Warrior Gangrel comes out to the ring. He's doing an open challenge for a hardcore flaming tables match. I remember Edge tried to bring Gangrel back to WWE, and they just said no. Imagine if he actually came back.
Barcelone et la NWE. Les ténèbres vont arriver.
Bien sûr, Darkness.
La prophétie est en face de moi. Et pour ce soir, y a-t-il une âme perdue qui veut m'affronter? Je lance un défi pour affronter le Vampire Warrior. Un match hardcore, pas de disqualification, des tables en feu. Incroyable, faites face à votre destinée.
Raven accepts the challenge, and he comes out with all this fucking garbage in the shopping cart. Raven starts throwing the garbage inside the ring. Gangrel tries to get him, but Raven hits him in the head with a bass drum. Raven drops Gangrel's balls onto a purple stick thing, but Gangrel no-sells it. Gangrel hits Raven with a clothesline in the corner. He bounces off the ropes, and Raven caught him with a super kick. Raven goes outside and sets up a table by the entrance. Raven and Gangrel go into the crowd, and they start fighting. They show a sign that says, "We want blood." Gangrel tried to throw Raven off the balcony, but it wasn't working. Gangrel keeps walking away from Raven like it's Here Comes the Pain. They go back into the ring, and Raven hits Gangrel with a discus lariat. Raven pulls out a lighter and sets a table outside on fire. Raven tried to throw Gangrel over the top rope, but Gangrel held on and started doing the Terry Funk selling on the ropes. They show E-Clipse walking backstage during the match for some reason. The fire went out, and Raven had to light the table back on fire again. Raven tries to powerbomb Gangrel through the flaming table, but Bret Idol puts the fire out with a fire extinguisher.
Il a remis le feu. Oh non, Eclipse qui intervient.
C'est pas Eclipse.
Si, il y a Eclipse qui est derrière, il y a Bret Idol aussi, deux catcheurs qui viennent effectivement aider. Ils ont aidé Vampire Warrior,
Incroyable.
Il a été powerbombé à travers cette table, mais elle n'était plus en flammes.
Raven thinks he won the match, but the table was not on fire, so it doesn't count. Raven starts beating up E-Clipse and Bret Idol, but then Gangrel gives Raven a DDT. Bret Idol lights up a table by the entrance on fire. Gangrel gets the victory by spearing Raven through the flaming table.
Cette table en flammes, Raven au bord du ring qui a l'air complètement chaos debout et il passe à travers cette table.
Bien sûr.
Avec un spear monumental.
Mais il y a quand même eu un petit scandale dans ce combat parce que c'est lui qui aurait dû gagner normalement ce combat.
Ah, la victoire a été acquise, c'est absolument scandaleux, mais ce sont les règles.
Personne n'est venu à l'aide de Raven. C'est ça l'histoire de ce combat.
That match was terrible. It was so boring. Gangrel was just walking around for half of the match. They show a RVD backstage promo. He's not even booked on his card.
On retrouve Marcus Mack en coulisses avec Rob Van Dam.
What's up, Marcus? Not much. RVD, I got a question for you.
Rob Van Dam, j'ai une question pour toi.
Talking about it. Are you asking if you can do this? Go ahead, I'll let you do it one time.
Rob Van Dam. Non, c'est pas ce qu'il veut faire. Il a une petite question quand même. On va essayer de passer à l'interview normalement.
My question is.
Ma question.
The one that everybody's talking about all over the world.
C'est la question que tout le monde se pose dans le monde entier. Le retour de l'Ultimate Warrior, qu'est-ce que t'en penses?
Everybody's talking about that.
Ouais, c'est vrai, tout le monde en parle. Dans le monde entier.
It's been way too long since
ils attendent ce moment depuis bien longtemps.
Aggressive, pumped up wrestler since.
Le catcheur le plus agressif, le plus excentrique de tous les temps qui revient enfin en ring. Et moi, quand j'étais petit, je le regardais déjà à la télévision et maintenant j'ai l'occasion de catcher à ses côtés. Je suis super content, il est content lui aussi. Et l'Ultimate Warrior va mettre un Ultimate retour en bottant les fesses de Orlando Jordan.
Afterwards, they show Orlando Jordan training some more before his match against the Warrior. This guy punched Orlando Jordan in the face, and Jordan starts having flashbacks about Warrior beating him up, and he goes crazy.
Mais attention, OJ, c'est ce qu'il va pas falloir qu'il fasse ce soir. Ne jamais tourner le dos à l'Ultimate Warrior, l'erreur numéro 1.
Bien sûr, rester concentré en permanence, il a pas dû aimer ça. Il est déjà dans son match, on le voit dans son regard. Eh oui, ça lui rappelle cette Cette claque, si on peut dire, reçue de la part d'Ultimate Warrior à Madrid.
Il attaque sur ses sparring partners. Il voit plus de catcheurs en face de lui, il voit que des Ultimate Warrior. Et il est en train de vider son chargeur sur tous ses gars. Peut-être une sorte d'avant-goût, un hors-d'œuvre par rapport à ce qu'il va faire ce soir à l'Ultimate Warrior.
Ah, ils sont obligés de le calmer, et son coach, regardez, son staff.
Complètement incontrôlable, ordre de Jordan.
Et ça montre un petit peu la nervosité qu'il habite, hein, à quelques heures maintenant, quelques minutes même de ce main event.
Oh, regardez-moi ça. Incroyable. Aucun respect pour personne. Les mots qui ont été prononcés par l'Ultimate Warrior qui ont marqué visiblement le champion du monde.
Up next, we got Juventud Guerrero versus Mad Cross for the NWE Cruiserweight title. When did Mad Cross get this Spartan gimmick? He should be using this gimmick for JCW. I met Mad Cross backstage one time. I talked to him about Lucha Underground and stuff. He's pretty cool. Every time I see Juvi on these type of shows, they always make him the Cruiserweight champion. I was watching the Vampiro interview, and he said that Juventud got mad that he stole the Juvi driver. Juventud getting mad over a move that he didn't even create. That's so funny. Juventud was talking to the crowd. He turned around and Mad Cross attacked him from behind. Mad Cross pulls out a ladder and hits Juventud right in the face. Juventud tries to whip Mad Cross into the ladder, but Mad Cross stops himself and gives Juvi a backdrop onto the ladder. Mad Cross tried to go up top, but Juventud made him hit his balls on the turnbuckle. Juventud climbs up the ladder and gives Mad Cross a diving hurricanrana off the top rope. They got the wrong ladder for this match. You can only climb up on one side. Juventud gives Mad Cross a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Juventud climbs up the ladder again. He tried to hit Mad Cross with a 450 splash, but he landed on his ass instead. Mad Cross gets up and gives Juventud a standing powerbomb. Mad Cross pulls out his sword and starts licking the blade. Mad Cross was going to use the sword, but the referee stops him and takes the sword outside. You could use a ladder, but you can't use a sword. That shit crazy. Mad Cross hits Juventud with a springboard double foot stomp to the back. Mad Cross does a human flag hold on the ring post and body splashes Juventud. The camera didn't catch it though. Mad Cross gives Juventud a shooting star press. Mad Cross gives Juventud a powerbomb onto the ladder set up in the corner. The ladder bounced out the corner and hit Juvi on the back. Mad Cross tried to go for a big boot, but Juventud does the Matrix and went for a schoolboy pin on Mad Cross. Juventud catches Mad Cross with a backbreaker, then he gives Mad Cross a reverse STO into the ladder. Juventud gets the victory with the 911 Juvi driver.
Regardez-moi ça, incroyable, on se croirait presque dans un jeu vidéo, ça part dans tous les sens. Juventud qui revient avec le Juvi driver. C'est une de ses finishers. Est-ce que c'est bon? Est-ce que ça suffit pour battre?
Ouais.
Incroyable, c'est
terminé.
fini. C'est terminé.
Et c'est
Juventud
Guerrera.
La jeunesse guerrière, le guerrier, seul face à l'homme, à Léonidas, au roi de Sparte, qui remporte la victoire. Juventud, champion du monde.
Juventud got two versions of the Juvi driver. That's crazy. That was an okay match, by the way. They show RVD walking backstage. He was throwing some trash away, but then Heidenreich and Chris Masters tried to jump on him. Both of them got their asses beat.
Non mais RVD, il aime bien le joueur local, hein. Vous savez qu'il y a...
Qu'est-ce qui se passe là?
Hey, c'est Heidenreich qui était caché dans la poubelle pour attaquer Rob Van Damme comme ça.
Oh, le guet-apens là qui a été...
Incroyable. Oh non!
Et ils sont deux.
Oh, ils sont carrément à 2 contre 1 là. Ça n'avait pas suffi avec
Avec Mordesky.
Chris Mordesky effectivement qui attaque par derrière. Et Rob Van Damme seul contre tous.
L'incroyable guet-apens tendu là à Rob Van Damme.
Et lui demande qui t'a envoyé? Ah oui, c'est Orlando! Orlando Jordan, c'est Orlando qui avait envoyé ses sbires pour s'occuper de Rob Van Damme.
Incroyable.
The next match is Ultimo Dragon versus Dark Dragon in the Mask versus Mask match. I don't think I've ever seen Dark Dragon before. I think I probably have, but I just don't know. This show feels like I'm watching an early 2000s SmackDown episode. Dark Dragon comes outside the ring and he attacks Ultimo Dragon from behind. Dark Dragon pushes Ultimo Dragon into the ring post. Then he picks up Ultimo Dragon and rams his balls into the ring post. Dark Dragon gives Ultimo Dragon a scoop slam. Dark Dragon puts Ultimo Dragon on the top rope and he starts tearing up his mask. Ultimo Dragon is in the tree of woe and Dark Dragon hits him with a drop kick. Dark Dragon hits Ultimo Dragon with a Kamehameha. Ultimo Dragon hits Dark Dragon with a mule kick. Ultimo Dragon catches Dark Dragon on the ground with a head scissor takedown. Ultimo Dragon hits Dark Dragon with some kick combos, then he lands a spinning back kick to the face. Ultimo Dragon hits Dark Dragon with a penalty kick. Ultimo Dragon gets revenge and starts tearing up Dark Dragon's mask. Ultimo Dragon gives Dark Dragon a back body drop over the top rope. Then he hits Dark Dragon with an acai moonsault outside the ring.
La question, c'est est-ce qu'on a vraiment envie de voir le visage des catcheurs masqués?
Incroyable! Ultimo Dragon qui vient de placer son Asai Moonsault, une des prises qu'il a inventées. Il a pris appui sur cette deuxième corde pour partir.
Ultimo Dragon gives Dark Dragon a superplex from the top rope. Dark Dragon gives Ultimo Dragon a powerbomb. He pins him and then he puts his feet up on the ropes, but the referee catches him. Dark Dragon gives Ultimo Dragon a running knee to the face. Dark Dragon gives Ultimo Dragon a fisherman buster. Dark Dragon goes outside and grabs a ring bell. He tries to hit Ultimo Dragon with the ring bell, but Ultimo Dragon catches him with an Acai DDT.
Esquive d'Ultimo Dragon, Dieu merci. Ultimo Dragon qui revient avec un Asai DDT. Une de ses entreprises qu'il a rendu célèbre. 1, 2 et 3, c'est terminé.
Cette fois, c'est terminé. Et ça veut dire qu'on va voir le visage de Dark Dragon.
Enfin, on va savoir qui se cache derrière ce masque immonde. Il a été puni et ça fait du bien de voir qu'enfin, la loi, l'ordre a été remis en place.
That was a pretty good match. That was one of the best matches of the night. After the match, Dark Dragon takes off his mask and Ultimo Dragon is speechless. He went like, oh my gosh.
Qui est-ce?
Aïe aïe aïe! C'est Hajime Ohara, un des élèves d'Ultimo Dragon qui n'en croit pas ses yeux.
Incroyable, c'est pour ça qu'il combattait.
That shit reminds me of Scooby-Doo. They show Orlando Jordan at the press conference and then they show Ultimate Warrior talking. Warrior is just yelling at everybody and then he leaves.
Son message.
I'm here for a press
On m'a dit de venir pour une conférence de presse.
but I've only stopped in for a couple minutes.
Mais je suis juste venu pour 1 ou 2 minutes pour m'exprimer
Clear. The kind
et
of
mettre les choses au clair.
that you, the media, would want to ask.
Les questions que les médias veulent me poser ne m'intéressent pas
Interest any of those Ultimate Warrior
et n'intéressent pas les fans de l'Ultimate Warrior.
to fuel the spirit of the Ultimate Warrior for the 10 years.
Et ça fait 10 ans qu'ils me supportent, 10 ans qu'ils mettent de l'énergie dans mon moteur, tous ces fans.
Ultimate Warrior.
Et c'est pour ça que l'Ultimate Warrior
In sports entertainment's history.
est une des légendes
Connected and bonded.
du sport spectacle du catch. Il a un lien particulier avec tous ses fans
Because they believe,
parce qu'il croit,
like Ultimate Warrior
tout
believes,
comme l'Ultimate Warrior croit,
we are each born with the soul print,
qu'on est tous nés avec une empreinte dans son âme
destiny.
et une destinée.
Children hold on to that belief.
Les enfants y pensent, les enfants y croient.
Comes that they're influenced.
Et malheureusement dans la vie,
Spirit is
en
targeted
grandissant, ils sont
by an
influencés,
adult who has stopped
mal
believing in his own
influencés,
destiny and has plugged himself in to the regular,
qui les font changer de
everyday,
direction dans cette
mediocre
destinée.
happening of life. Ultimate Warrior represents something about
L'Ultimate
always
Warrior
striving
représente quelque chose de bien
to
plus
be the
fort,
best at what you can do.
d'être le meilleur dans tout ce qu'on fait.
9 days ago, the man warrior,
Il y a
turned
quelques jours,
41 years old.
Moi, l'Ultimate Warrior, j'ai eu
But when I was
49 ans.
challenged in Madrid, Spain, by
Mais peu
Orlando
importe,
Jordan
je savais qu'aujourd'hui,
to use his manhood
à Barcelone, je devais affronter
that was
Orlando
standing
Jordan.
beside me. A man, a real man,
Un
a
homme
real warrior has no other choice.
Comme je le suis, un homme comme le Warrior ne recule jamais devant les défis. Il avance. Et quand vous aurez des problèmes dans la vie, franchement, c'est ce qu'il faut faire. Vous n'allez pas tourner le dos à ces défis. Il faut faire face, bomber le torse et y aller. Et faire face à ses peurs. Même si ça va jusqu'à vous tuer. Pour tous ceux qui ont toujours continué à croire en l'Ultimate Warrior. Ce retour ce soir à Barcelone pour le titre mondial de la NWE. C'est pour vous. C'est pour vous. Parce que vous avez toujours cru en moi. Même quand j'avais perdu mon maquillage, même quand je me suis coupé les cheveux, vous avez toujours cru en moi. Et l'esprit du guerrier vivra à tout jamais.
The co-main event is Black Pearl and Rikishi versus Chris Masters and Heidenreich. Heidenreich dressed up like he in the army. I seen a picture of Heidenreich working at Walmart. I used to work at Walmart. I fucking hated that shit. They had us unloading trucks all fucking day. When I quit that job, I gave them a 1-day notice, and I just left. Chris Masters comes out next. I didn't know that Mordesky was his last name. The last time I seen Chris Masters, he was in NWA. He was looking like above Shawn Michaels. I don't know who Black Pearl is, but he's teaming up with Rikishi. Does anyone know who this guy is? Rikishi came out to the ring with a hand clapper. I used to have that toy when I was a kid. My grandma gave me that toy. Rikishi started showing his ass to Chris Masters. Chris got scared and got out the ring. He started holding up a chair for protection. Chris knocks down Black Pearl with a shoulder block. Black Pearl hits Chris with a jumping super kick. Rikishi gets tagged in and drops a big old leg on Chris Masters. Heidenreich gets in the ring. He tries to attack Rikishi, but Rikishi shows his ass again. Heidenreich got scared and left the ring. Chris Masters tried to go for a sunset flip on Rikishi, but Rikishi almost sat on his face. Masters got scared and left the ring too. I would've did the same shit. Black Pearl hits Chris with a clothesline. Heidenreich and Black Pearl go for a clothesline at the same time, and both men go down. Rikishi gets the hot tag and hits a double clothesline on Masters and Heidenreich. Rikishi tried to go for the bonsai drop on Heidenreich, but he knees him in the balls. Rikishi no-sells the nut shot and gets the victory with a Samoan drop.
Il a peut-être la seule possibilité. On revient en Samoan drop. Est-ce que ça va suffire pour mettre à mal l'Américain? C'est fini. Aïe aïe aïe, Dieu merci.
Oh, incroyable. Il n'aura pas porté finalement on va dire son
bonsai drop,
ouais, avec son coup de fessier. Et c'est peut-être mieux même pour Heidenreich, même s'il y a la défaite au bout pour les Américains.
Victoire de Kishi et Black Pearl, les deux Samoans. Les deux favoris du public qui réussissent à se débarrasser.
That was one of the worst fucking matches on the card. Heidenreich didn't do anything in that match. They showed this picture of Orlando Jordan. He looks so black, he looks like an unlocked character. But anyways, it's time for the Nachomane event. It's the Ultimate Warrior versus Orlando Jordan for the NWE World Heavyweight Championship. This is my first time seeing a full match. Warrior's last match being against Orlando Jordan feels so random. The last time I seen Orlando Jordan, he was on TNA pouring some milk on his chest. They gave Jordan so much confetti when he came out to the ring. Ultimate Warrior comes out to the ring. His knee is injured, but he's still running. I read a comment that said during his training before the match, he injured his knee, but he still wanted to do the match. What the hell was he doing in the gym? This guy's fucking crazy. Is Jim the only wrestler to illegally change his name to his pro wrestling name? I don't know anyone else that has. They gave Warrior so much pyro. It reminds me of Batista's entrance. Ultimate Warrior takes off his jacket, and Jordan gets in the ring and attacks Warrior from behind. Ultimate Warrior gives Jordan a hip toss. Jordan gets back up, then Warrior gives him a back body drop. Jordan gets out the ring. Orlando Jordan tries to shoulder tackle Warrior, but he doesn't go down. Jordan grabs Warrior's leg and makes him go down. Ultimate Warrior gives an arm drag to Jordan. He tries to pick Jordan up, but Jordan started hitting his back. Warrior gives Jordan a second back body drop. Warrior and Jordan are both outside, but then Warrior got distracted by Jordan's manager, and then Jordan punches Warrior in the gut. Jordan picks up Warrior and rams his back into the ring post. Jordan tries to hit Warrior with a clothesline, but Warrior dodged it and gave Jordan a power slam. Jordan climbs up to the top rope, but Warrior caught him. Warrior gives Jordan a superplex from the top rope.
On va tenter peut-être une souplesse arrière. Incroyable! Un superplex Ultimate Warrior!
In this version of the match, they edited and took out Warrior's crossbody for some reason. I combined the two versions of this match and put it back in. Ultimate Warrior went for the splash, but Jordan puts his knees up. Orlando Jordan gives Ultimate Warrior a backstabber. He went for the pin, but Warrior kicks out. Ultimate Warrior gets up and he starts hulking up. He gives Orlando Jordan a shoulder tackle. He gets back up and hits him with a clothesline. Then he gets the victory with a shoulder tackle. He didn't even do the splash.
Le Warrior qui accélère, on passe en dessous de cette corde à linge, on revient avec un coup d'épaule. L'impact a été rude, le choc a été monstrueux. Et c'est terminé, c'est terminé. L'Ultimate Warrior, champion du monde, ici à Barcelone. 49 ans, 10 ans d'absence, et toujours aussi efficace, toujours aussi légendaire. Champion du monde, c'est fabuleux, Bertrand.
Justice est faite, justice est faite, et Orlando Jordan est puni de toutes ses exactions.
Yeah, besides like 2 spots, that was a pretty bad match. Maybe if he wasn't injured, it probably would be better, but I don't know. After the match, Warrior cuts a promo. People started leaving the arena before he even started saying anything.
I have something I want to say. First of all, I want to thank the NWE for its hospitality, and its friendliness, and its professionalism in bringing me over here to Spain to wrestle in this return match after 10 years of being absent from the ring. I created and performed an incredible persona, the Ultimate Warrior. And I talked about during this return how when I become that character, there's a transformation that takes place. And that's indeed true. But behind the face paint, there are certain personality characteristics of the Ultimate Warrior that are still mine in my everyday life. One of those that doesn't happen to be Ultimate Warriors is modesty and humbleness when it's needed. I was once, when I started, Orlando, if you'd honor me with your presence there for a couple more minutes. When I was your age and I got my first shot in wrestling in the WWF, I was one of those big young bucks. And I was full of myself in good ways and bad ways. I'm 20 years older than you. I've learned a lot since then, taken up a lot of different interests. But I want to thank you for teaching me a lesson this evening and really stepping up and really working on the ring rust that is in this body. You, as you mature in your career, good guy or bad guy, attitude or humble, you're going to be one of the greats in this business. I know that. I didn't take this belt or I didn't take this match to win this belt to take home back to America. It belongs here with the NWE. And I want to extend an invitation to Orlando if he, rather than me, will now put it in a tournament and win it on his own professional competitive merits, because I know he can do it. When I leave this evening, the belt will stay. It will be your choice. Thanks again. I love the Ultimate Warrior fans from all over the world. Appreciate it.
Overall, besides like a few things, the show felt kind of boring. I like the Ultimo Dragon match. Ultimate Warrior reminds me of this movie called The Wrestler. I saw this movie a few years ago. It was kind of sad. Damn, that's crazy. But anyways, if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, if you want to join my Discord server, link in description. Nachomane out.